But the Philippines is mulling a review of laws on legal and illegal firearms following yesterday's deadly school shooting.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered a thorough investigation into the incident that killed two students at the Ateneo de Zamboanga University, including the shooter. Mr. Marcos called on agencies to determine what more must be done to prevent another family, another school, and another community from suffering the same grief. He expressed his condolences to families involved, saying schools must be among the safest places in the country.
The authorities have suspended the father of the ninth grade suspect after establishing that one of the two firearms used in the shooting was issued to him by the Bureau of Customs, or BOC. The youth's father works for the BOC and is reportedly the head of the agency's Enforcement and Security Service in Zamboanga.
The BOC has also ordered a comprehensive accounting and inventory of all firearms issued, plus a review of compliance with gun safety, custody, storage, and safekeeping rules. Law enforcement is also looking into how the youth obtained the weapon and his motive for the shooting.
The silence of a regular Tuesday morning in school broken by gunshots.
May gunshot dito sa loob ng Ateneo. Tulong.
A ninth grade student, typically between 14 and 15 years old, walked into campus with at least two firearms. He shot dead another student a grade above him before taking his life. In the panic, several were wounded. It was the second school shooting in the Philippines in 2 months. This one was live streamed from a body cam the shooter was wearing. Video showed the barrel of a gun moving down a hallway before going into classrooms. Facebook has disabled the account. The gunman is said to have fired at a teacher but missed.
It is a very, very sad day for all of us. The university is saddened for the incident that happened today here at our junior high school campus at the morning. As of now, we confirm that there are 2 fatalities.
Last month, the campus held active shooter drills a month after the school shooting in Tacloban that left 3 students dead in June.
For more on the shooting and the fallout, let's speak now with Angel Redoble, Chairman and Founding President of the Philippine Institute of Cybersecurity Professionals, and he is joining us this morning from Manila. Angel, we understand that you sounded the alarm after Tacloban about young people being groomed towards extreme violence online. And 2 months later, here we are, another fatal school shooting, that is. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells us so many things. That number one, every entity that is part of the value chain in addressing this issue did not take action. Either they did not take it seriously, or they did not expect that the same incident would occur in their schools. There is a very low level of urgency in terms of what we saw in the response and improvements in how safety and security is supposed to be done in schools.
Okay, Angel, and I understand you specifically warned about the 764 extremist network after Tacloban. What, if anything, about this latest attack suggests that we may be seeing the same online influences at work here?
Definitely, what we have seen the moment it was published in social media, the question that immediately popped up in our minds was, is the kid an online gamer or a heavy gamer? And we have confirmed in one of the message that was also shared that the shooter is a heavy gamer in Roblox. So that is already one indicator that this could be a grooming or a cyber-enabled cognitive grooming victim. No? And then our team search postings in TikTok about the shooting, and hours after, we saw a video, a compilation of photos of the minor victim, the shooter, posted in TikTok, and the account is True Cringe Community. And by searching, doing more research, True Cringe Community is a subset of True Crime Community, and True Crime Community is directly connected to this network. So while it is not 100% definite, I believe this already warrants an investigation beyond the traditional crime that we have seen.
Right. So this is where I want to press you a little bit, Angel. You talk about that link, but is that link actually confirmed? Is there actually a confirmed link to an organized network in this latest case in Zamboanga, the way there is with Tacloban and 764? Because as far as I can tell, all we have so far is a mayor's comment, about that link to Roblox.
Well, that is true. We cannot certainly or 100% confirm that, but we are looking at patterns, and the pattern, the way this was executed compared to the previous, and even those that were executed, I mean, incidents that happened outside the Philippines, there is a pattern, and the most common denominator is the victim shooter is a heavy online gamer. And in this case, Roblox has been named very often that it is where the groomers identify and pick their target of a vulnerable minor to be groomed. But of course, this is still something that requires thorough investigation coming from the law enforcement agencies, and that is why we press the idea that investigation must go beyond the traditional crime investigation.
Right.
It must cover that possibility, because our problem here is, if there's no problem if we are mistaken. If it's not true, then this is just another isolated traditional crime that we have seen. But if we are correct in this, in understanding the pattern, and there is actually a group of groomers that are lurking in online gaming platforms, there are tens of millions of kids, young kids and young adults that are playing online games. And these are all probable victims. No? And we don't know how many right now are being groomed. We don't know right now how many are already groomed. So it is very important to go beyond the traditional investigation perspective.
Okay, Angel. So, we've now had 2 school shootings in roughly 2 months. What needs to happen now to stop a third?
There is no single approach and a straight answer to that question. The right approach is not very easy to do, because it requires every entity that is part of the value chain. So we have to start analyzing this problem from the beginning. What is the beginning? The beginning is a child downloading an online game or a game application so that the child can play online. So with that, who is supposed to address that level? Supposedly the family, right? Once the kid is already playing, registering online, who is supposed to be addressing the possible problem on that level? It's the parents and the online gaming platforms, the online gaming developers, and everyone that requires to implement the right safety, no?
Right.
Because the current safety is just asking you whether you are 18 years of age, and then
Right.
kids will just click on the yes, I'm older than 18 and 18 and older, and then everything is okay. And
Okay.
then there are people, what we have seen also are kids who are unsupervised in playing games, unmonitored, unsupervised. So these are the
Right.
patterns.
Okay, Angel, I hear what you're saying. So that's one aspect of it. But here's, my question. Because no matter how someone is radicalized online, how it happens, ultimately, if they want to do what has happened, they need access to a weapon, right? And in both the Tacloban and Zamboanga, shootings, they trace back to legally held firearms owned by people in law enforcement. So the question is that 2 for 2, does this, tell you that there's a policy blind spot that authorities are perhaps, chasing down illegal guns, but legal guns in homes with kids aren't being secured at this time?
All right. So in terms of registering firearms in the Philippines, to me, it is already very strict. The problem is when guns are already acquired, no? Registered, and given to the person who applied for a license to own and possess firearms. What we have seen here in Tacloban, similar to the incident in Zamboanga, is it's trust. The father, you have a son that is a top notch in schools, in academics. You will never think that your son will do what this kid has done, because you know your son. So the loophole there is when your son starts doing this heavy online gaming, the change starts, and the parents did not see that.
Right.
The parents cannot see that because I am a gun owner myself. If I have a son that I saw a change in behavior, I will definitely put my guns somewhere that it cannot be accessed.
Okay. I hear you,
In this
Angel.
case, in
Yeah.
this case, the change, yes.
Right.
Okay.
It's a very good point,
So,
because
so
my
what
next
I mean is,
question
what I mean is,
is,
what I mean.
yep, please go on.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me just
Okay.
interject here and
Uh,
ask you about this chain, right, that you were talking about. You're the parent, maybe you don't see the warning sign, but at some point in the process, there's the platform, there's the school, could they have intervened? And what sort of form will this warning possibly take? And intervention takes place before it ends in a shooting that, like we've seen in these past two incidents.
well, if you're a parent or parents who did not hear about or did not know about violent extremism online, if you did not know about 764 network, if you did not know about the real the root cause of shooting incidents and stabbing incidents or suicide, if there is a change in the behavior of your son or daughter due to games, you will only say that it's because it's a games, and you will never suspect that your son will shoot people, right? So the awareness, the education must not only be limited on how to discipline the kids when using gadgets. It has to go beyond that, and this topic must be discussed. That the possibility of a very silent boy, an academic girl, or someone who has always been a good kid, can become groomed, because this is not just grooming. There is also coercion, and the threat actors have something that they possess that can make them convert a very silent child to become so violent, because that is the process. There is a methodology being used by the threat actors.
All right, Angel, we have to leave it there. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you so much for talking to us on the show this morning. Angel Redoble is chairman and founding president at the Philippine Institute of Cybersecurity Professionals.